When it comes to the world of Westeros, one of the most compelling aspects that have drawn fans into both Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon is the intricate and fascinating visual language that these series have established. The castles and fortresses of Westeros serve as more than just the settings where the characters' dramatic lives unfold. They are symbols of power, heritage, and the complex history of the realm. However, as grand and awe-inspiring as these castles may appear on screen, they still fall short of capturing the full splendor and scale described in George R.R. Martin's novels. The truth is, no Game of Thrones series will ever truly do justice to these architectural marvels, and there are several reasons why this is the case. One of the most obvious reasons why the castles of Westeros can't be perfectly translated from page to screen is due to the inherent limitations of television production. Budget constraints are a major factor, as recreating the immense and uniquely detailed structures described in the books would require a level of investment that even the most successful TV series cannot justify. Moreover, the logistics of filming in or constructing such vast and complex environments would be incredibly challenging, not to mention the difficulty of setting key events within these massive spaces. As a result, the visual representations of these castles must serve the story above all else, often leading to scaled-down or altered designs that, while still impressive, don't quite capture the grandeur of the original descriptions. To truly appreciate the vast difference between the books and the TV adaptations, let's take a closer look at some of the most iconic castles in Westeros and how they differ between the two mediums. Perhaps no castle is more iconic in Game of Thrones than Winterfell, the ancient seat of House Stark. On television, Winterfell is depicted as a formidable fortress with its towering walls, imposing gates, and a design that reflects the Stark family's long history. The show's portrayal of Winterfell incorporates elements from the books, such as the round and angular towers and the sprawling godswood, but it still pales in comparison to the version described by George R.R. Martin. In the novels, Winterfell is not just a single castle, but a sprawling complex of castles and fortifications that cover an extensive area. The godswood alone is described as spanning 3 acres, an area equivalent to about 3 American football fields. The castle is surrounded by 2 massive stone walls, with a moat between them, and outside these walls lies a village known as Wintertown. The sheer scale of Winterfell is a testament to the enduring strength and legacy of House Stark, with its many towers and halls built over centuries. Structures like the First Keep and the Broken Tower are ancient remnants that have stood for generations, serving as a constant reminder of the Stark family's resilience. Beneath Winterfell lies another hidden world, the crypts, which are as expansive as the castle itself. These underground tombs are the final resting place for generations of Starks, adding an extra layer of mystery and history to the already rich lore of Winterfell. The TV series, while capturing the essence of Winterfell, simply cannot convey the full magnitude of this legendary stronghold. Dragonstone, the ancestral seat of House Targaryen, is another castle that suffers from the limitations of television. In House of the Dragon, Dragonstone is depicted as a castle with a distinctive angular design, crowned by a large central tower and surrounded by the ominous dragon mob. This portrayal, while striking, doesn't fully capture the grandeur of the Dragonstone described in the book. In Martin's novels, Dragonstone is much larger and more imposing, a true reflection of the Targaryens' connection to dragons and their Valyrian heritage. The entire island of Dragonstone is a volcanic wonder, large enough to contain small towns and even farmland. The castle itself is dominated by a massive mountain that looms over it, and its architecture is distinctly Valyrian, crafted with techniques and materials that have been lost to time. The stone carvings and sculptures throughout Dragonstone are designed to evoke the presence of dragons, with gargoyles and other decorations that seem almost alive. One of the most unique features of Dragonstone is the stone drum, a circular tower where the Lord's chambers are located. The tower is named for the drum-like sound it makes when struck by the wind, a haunting echo that resonates throughout the castle. Other notable structures include the Sea Dragon Tower and the Great Keep, each adding to the imposing and otherworldly atmosphere of Dragonstone. The TV adaptation, while visually impressive, can't fully convey the sense of ancient power and mystery that surrounds this Targaryen stronghold. As the capital of the Seven Kingdoms, King's Landing is a city steeped in history and intrigue. Throughout both Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, the city's appearance has changed multiple times, reflecting different interpretations and the evolving storylines. However, these changes also highlight the difficulty of accurately depicting such a sprawling and complex metropolis on screen. King's Landing is located at the mouth of the Blackwater Rush, with its most important landmarks perched atop three hills: Aegon's High Hill, Rhaenys Hill, and Visenya's Hill. The Red Keep, a massive castle complex that serves as the seat of the Iron Throne, dominates Aegon's High Hill. Within the Red Keep are various structures, including Maegor's Holdfast, a fortified castle, within a castle that is considered the safest place in the capital. The Great Hall, where the Iron Throne sits, the Tower of the Hand, the White Sword Tower, and the dungeons known as the Black Cells are just a few of the many buildings that make up the Red Keep. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Red Keep is its network of secret passages, a feature that both Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon have touched upon. These hidden tunnels and doors are a testament to the city's long and often treacherous history, providing a means for escape, espionage, and intrigue. The Dragon Pit, once a grand structure that housed the Targaryen dragons, is another significant location in King's Landing. Though in ruins by the time of Game of Thrones, its presence on Rhaenys Hill serves as a reminder of the Targaryens' former glory. The Great Sept of Baelor, located on Visenya's Hill, was a towering structure that dominated the city's skyline until its dramatic destruction in Season 6. Each of these landmarks contributes to the rich tapestry of King's Landing, a city that, despite its numerous depictions on screen, can never be fully captured in all its complexity. The Eyrie, the seat of House Arryn in the Vale, is one of the most visually striking castles in Westeros. Perched atop the tallest mountain in the Vale, the Eyrie is known for its remote and nearly impregnable location. In Game of Thrones, the Eyrie is depicted with a fair degree of accuracy, particularly in Season 1, when Tyrion Lannister finds himself imprisoned in the Sky Cells, and in Season 4, when Arya Stark and Sandor Clegane approach the Bloody Gate. However, the Eyrie's full majesty is difficult to portray on screen. The climb to the Eyrie is a long and arduous journey, with three smaller castles, Stone, Snow, and Sky, serving as checkpoints along the way. Once at the top, the Eyrie itself is a small but elegant castle with 7 towers arranged around a central courtyard. The castle is filled with light during the day thanks to its large windows and open spaces, but this light is cold and clear, reflecting the harshness of its mountain surrounding. At night, the Eyrie becomes a haunting place as the winds howl through the high towers, creating an eerie atmosphere that is both beautiful and unsettling. The TV series captures some of this atmosphere, but the true isolation and grandeur of the Eyrie as described in the books are difficult to replicate. Casterly Rock, the ancestral seat of House Lannister, was one of the most anticipated locations in Game of Thrones. However, when it finally appeared in Season 7, many fans were disappointed by its depiction as a relatively small castle perched on a cliffside. In contrast, the Casterly Rock of the books is an engineering marvel, a fortress carved into a colossal stone hill that towers over the surrounding landscape. In the novels, Casterly Rock is described as a series of tunnels and halls carved out of the rock itself, with dungeons, mines, and even gold veins that are rumored to still be untouched. The only entrance to Casterly Rock from the outside is through the Lion's Mouth, a tunnel carved into the shape of a lion's head. This imposing entrance is just one of the many features that make Casterly Rock a symbol of the Lannisters' wealth and power. Inside, the castle is a labyrinth of chambers and corridors, with a unique sewer system developed by Tyrion Lannister himself. The TV series, while visually striking, simply could not capture the full scope of Casterly Rock's grandeur and the sense of awe it inspires in the book. The seat of House Velaryon in House of the Dragon is located on the Isle of Driftmark, where we find the castles of Driftmark and High Tide. High Tide, in particular, is a key location in the series, serving as the home of Lord Corlys Velaryon, also known as the Sea Snake. In the show, High Tide is depicted as a grand and stately castle, with a design that reflects House Velaryon's maritime heritage. However, the novels describe both Driftmark and High Tide as much more imposing. Driftmark is the older and more modest of the two castles, while High Tide, built by Colles Valerion during his voyages, is a newer and grander structure, designed to showcase the wealth he accumulated through his expedition. The castle of High Tide, with its towering spires and expansive halls, is a testament to the power and influence of House Valerion. Its design is said to resemble the castles of the free cities across the narrow sea, blending Valyrian and Westerosi architecture in a way that reflects the Valerians' deep ties to both. While the TV series gives us a glimpse of High Tide, it doesn't fully capture the opulence and uniqueness of this maritime stronghold. Harrenhal is one of the most mysterious and haunting castles in Westeros, a sprawling ruin that serves as a reminder of the Targaryens' power and the folly of those who defied them. In Game of Thrones, Harrenhal is depicted as a massive and crumbling fortress, with its towers shattered by dragonfire. However, the true scale of Harrenhal, as described in the books, is almost impossible to portray on screen. Built by Harren the Black, a king who sought to create the largest and most impregnable castle in Westeros, Harrenhal is a monstrosity of stone and iron. Its walls are said to be so thick that they could withstand any siege, and its towers are the tallest in the realm. But Harrenhal's size ultimately became its downfall, as Aegon the Conqueror and his dragons reduced it to ruins in a single night. The heat of dragonfire melted the stone towers, leaving them twisted and deformed. Harrenhal's vast halls and chambers now stand empty, a testament to the castle's cursed history. In the novels, Harrenhal is more than just a ruined castle. It is a symbol of the Targaryens' dominance and the fleeting nature of power. The TV series captures some of this atmosphere, but the true horror and grandeur of Harrenhal are difficult to fully convey on screen. The castles of Westeros aren't just buildings, they are characters in their own right, each with its own history, personality, and role in the story. While the Game of Thrones series and its spin-offs have done an admirable job of bringing these castles to life, they will never truly do justice to the magnificent and complex structures described in George R.R. Martin's novels. Television, by its nature, has limitations that prevent it from fully capturing the scale, detail, and atmosphere of these castles. Whether it's the sprawling grandeur of Winterfell, the ancient power of Dragonstone, or the haunting ruins of Harrenhal, these castles will always be more than what we see on screen. They are places of legend, born from the imagination of a master storyteller, and no adaptation, no matter how grand, can ever fully encapsulate their true essence.